Welcome to the Deep Dive, brought to you by DRS Zone. We are staring right down the barrel of the 2025 World Championship finale.
It really feels like we're in the final round of a massive prize fight.
Absolutely. This is it, the penultimate race. Only 2 rounds left, 58 points still on the table, and Lando Norris is holding on to a slender 24-point lead over Max Verstappen and Oscar Piastri.
It is so nail-biting. And our mission today is to go deeper than just the points. We need to dive into the single biggest factor for the Qatar Grand Prix.
And what's that?
A huge regulatory shift. It's going to transform this whole race from, a strategy marathon into 3 back-to-back flat-out sprint races.
That is a massive change.
Yeah.
And it's such a critical time. So we're heading back to LUSAIL. It's a 5.419-meter, 16-corner track. And it was originally designed for motorbikes, which explains a lot about it.
It explains so much. It's a circuit that demands total commitment, and historically, it just creates fireworks on and off the track.
So to really get this, we need to understand the track itself, right? Its destructive nature.
Exactly. LUSAIL is famous for just putting catastrophic levels of energy into the tires. And you just have to look at the layout to see why. You've got 16 corners, and the key ones, turns 4, 5, 12, 13, and 14. They're almost all these long, sustained, high-speed right-handers.
Okay, so let's break that down. A long right-hander means the car is just constantly loaded up through the turn.
Constantly.
Which puts this immense, unending stress onto the front left tire. Got to deal with all that load, all that heat. Is that the key thing here? Is that what made the FIA step in?
That's it. The front left is the victim. You need really high downforce to handle those corners, but the asphalt is also super abrasive. It's just a perfect storm for tire wear.
And overtaking is pretty much just turn 1 after that long DRS straight.
Yeah, mostly. But the real drama always seems to come from the friction this track just seems to create between the drivers.
Friction is the perfect word for it. We can't forget the history that's setting the stage. Verstappen has 2 wins here, but poles have been split between him, Hamilton, and Russell.
And we're going right back to the scene of some major 2024 rivalries. Remember the sprint last year?
Yeah.
Lando Norris gets a grid penalty. But who was it that reported him for not respecting the yellow flags?
It was Max Verstappen.
It was Max Verstappen. A direct, pointed move. It really ramped up that sort of passive-aggressive thing they had going on.
And then there was the incident that really lit the fuse for the Russell and Verstappen rivalry. Yeah. Russell, he deliberately looked for Verstappen in qualifying, found him.
He hunted him down.
And the commissioners ended up penalizing Verstappen a grid spot. It felt so theatrical.
Yeah.
And it just signaled a total loss of respect between them.
And now they're back on that same grid, but the pressure is just turned up to the absolute maximum. And this new rule, it changes everything.
Okay, here is where it gets really, really interesting. This is the core of our deep dive. Let's talk about this mandatory 2-stop strategy.
This is a massive safety intervention. It's coming straight from the FIA and Pirelli. What they saw was that with the high speeds and the abrasive track, the tires were degrading so fast that teams pushing the limits, trying a 1-stop, were at a huge risk of a blowout, a structural failure. This is purely about safety.
So no more gambles, no more playing the long game with strategy. What does the rule actually say?
It's very precise. A strict maximum of 25 laps on any single set of tires. That's it. The Grand Prix is 57 laps long, so you do the math. You physically cannot finish this race without 3 stints.
Which means a minimum of 2 pit stops for every single car. So we're looking at stops around lap 25, then again around lap 50, and then a 7-lap dash to the finish.
Exactly, but it gets even more complicated, and this is where it gets tough for the engineers, especially on a sprint weekend.
What's the catch?
The 25-lap limit is cumulative.
Oh, wow.
You've hit the nail on the head. It's not 25 race laps. It's 25 laps total from the second that tire is put on the car. Only the formation lap and your in and out laps don't count.
Let's visualize that. On a sprint weekend, you have, 2 hards, 4 mediums, 6 softs?
Right, a very tight allocation.
So if a team runs, say, 10 laps on a set of mediums in free practice 1, just to get some data.
That decision just cost them 10 laps of race distance on that set. It now only has a 15-lap maximum life for the Grand Prix. If they were planning a 20-lap stint on it, their whole strategy is just completely ruined.
So they have to track every single lap on every set of tires just to make sure they have 3 legal sets for the race.
Yes. They have to manage it perfectly.
But the flip side of this for the drivers is incredible. If everyone has to stop, nobody needs to save their tires.
Exactly.
This just turns the whole race into a sequence of 3 maximum attack sprints.
It's going to be amazing for us watching. It completely shifts the fight from managing tire temps to just pure raw pace. The fastest driver over 3 short stints wins. It means aggressive outlaps, aggressive inlaps, no lifting.
And connecting this back, we saw how much the drivers suffered physically here in 2023. This has to make that worse, right? The temperature is supposed to be around 24 degrees, but the G-forces from running flat out for 3 separate, 20-minute blocks, that's going to be brutal.
It's a tremendous physical challenge. They'll be fighting exhaustion, dehydration, the sheer lateral Gs. It stops being just a race and it becomes a gauntlet. The smallest drop in concentration could be a massive error.
So quick question, since everyone is stopping, does this kill the undercut or the overcut? I mean, if you pit, everyone else has to follow soon anyway because of that 25-lap limit.
It definitely dulls the edge of a typical undercut, yeah. It pushes everyone into a predictable window. The only real strategic choice left is when you stop inside that window and maybe what compound you choose for that final 7-lap sprint.
So the risk then shifts to the pits themselves.
Massively. Twice as many mandatory stops means twice the chance of a slow change or an unsafe release. The pressure is amplified.
This segment is part of our news coverage of recent F1 events.
And if you are watching this deep dive on YouTube, welcome to DRS Zone. Don't forget to subscribe for more high-energy F1 content. We really appreciate you joining us for this.
Okay, so now that we have the rules straight, let's talk teams. We looked at the computer modeling, factoring in LUSAIL, high-speed corners, high tire wear, all of it. And the results are, well, they're very revealing.
The models are pretty clear on this one. McLaren is built for this. They got a perfect 5 out of 5. This track, with its need for high aero stability and performance in those fast sweeping corners, it's basically the perfect circuit for their car.
So they're expected to be the dominant force.
We think so, especially because the 2-stop rule forces them to attack even harder, which is what their car loves.
And Red Bull is right behind them, a 4.8 out of 5. But here's the interesting part for me. Red Bull's strength has always been their ability to manage tires over a long run, right?
Absolutely. They can make rubber last longer than anyone.
But this mandatory 2-stop completely takes that advantage away.
Precisely. Their biggest edge is pretty much nullified. But I mean, you can never, ever count out Max Verstappen. His form since Zandvoort has been insane. A podium in every race. And crucially, he has that new engine component from Brazil.
So mechanical freshness. That's a huge advantage against this kind of stress.
It's a major advantage.
Okay, so that's the battle at the front. But further down, some teams are really going to suffer. Let's talk about Williams. This track is their nightmare, isn't it?
It really is. They'll struggle big time. A Q2 finish would be a huge achievement for them. But the real disaster story this season has been Aston Martin. Their car, the AMR25, has been described by insiders as just fundamentally flawed. They're calling it the opposite car.
The opposite car. What does that even mean? What's physically wrong with it?
It's an aerodynamic mess. It's apparently super nervous on corner entry, so the driver can't attack the turn-in. But then it immediately develops this massive mid-corner understeer. It just pushes wide.
So it's unstable going in and then won't turn in the middle.
Exactly. The opposite of what you want. It's slow through the apex, it's slow on the straights, and it barely even reacts to setup changes. It's a nightmare.
That is just damning. I mean, Aston Martin could finish 9th in the Constructors. That's worse than McLaren's horrible years in 2015 and 2017. Sources are saying Alonso is just desperate for the season to be over.
And while all this is happening, we have to talk about the elephant in the paddock, Racing Bulls. Are they a B team or are they independent?
The optics are just terrible for them right now, especially with McLaren being Red Bull's main rival. We had that collision between Lawson and Piastri in Vegas.
And then that viral moment in Brazil.
Yeah, that image of a Racing Bulls team member in the podium area, basically encouraging the crowd to boo Lando Norris.
The team denies it, of course, but it raises some serious questions about their loyalties, in a tight championship fight.
It really does. It's not the behavior of a neutral party.
Which brings us perfectly to the final showdown. Let's look at the math again. How can Norris actually win the title here in Qatar?
Okay. He's up by 24 points. To win it here, before Abu Dhabi, he has to leave Qatar with a lead of 25 points or more. ND, and this is the crucial part of that, Max Verstappen must not win the race.
That's a very, very tough ask, even if McLaren has the faster car. So what are the biggest risks for Norris and McLaren, even with a car that's supposedly perfect for this track?
For me, number one is the sprint weekend format. They get one practice session. That's it. One chance to nail the setup before quali. After their struggles in Vegas, one wrong move in FP1 could cost them the whole weekend.
Risk number 2. Reliability. We've established this as 3 max pace sprints. That puts insane stress on the gearbox, the hydraulics, and especially the power unit. Max has a fresher engine. McLaren doesn't have that luxury. Reliability could absolutely be the deciding factor.
And the third risk, the one you can't model, it's the psychological one, the head-to-head.
Exactly. Max is a proven champion. He's clinical under pressure. Lando, for all his wins this year, has not yet really beaten Max in a straight wheel-to-wheel, high-stakes fight. Max has the experience. Norris has the points lead. This is where it all gets decided.
So, given this mandatory two-stop rule forcing 3 sprint races, what's going to be the true decider here? Is it going to be the sheer physical punishment that forces a driver into a mistake? Or is it going to be the risk of a high-speed mechanical failure from all that stress?
That is the question you have to ask yourself while you're watching the lights go out. It's going to come down to maximum attack and 0 room for error.
We've broken down the strategy, the drama, the title scenarios for this massive penultimate race. Don't miss a single second of it. Make sure you subscribe and follow the deep dive on all platforms, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube.
Until the next deep dive, we will see you at the track for the greatest show on Earth.
Time to go flat out.